What's up? What it do? We're gonna go to Chicago real quick one time. And I ain't really been covering a whole lot of Lil Durk things because I've been trying to wait for some things to progress. But today, as I was looking at the news and looking at social media, I see a lot of dudes, I think they misrepresenting or mischaracterizing what happened. So federal prosecutors have linked Lil Durk to another murder that occurred in Chicago. I believe the person's name is Stefan Mack. But however, nevertheless, that does not mean that Little Durk is charged with a whole nother murder. Little Durk is charged with this murder for hire scheme out of Los Angeles in federal court. So I don't want everybody to jump to no conclusion like they're gonna automatically bring up murder after murder after murder. That's not what's happening. What's happening is similar to what happened in the Young Dolph murder trial for anybody who watched that. CMG and Big Juke weren't charged with anything. They were linked to things. No charges for CMG. Yo Gotti or Big Juke ever came out of the straight drop murder. Now, I'm not saying that don't mean that the federal government can't pursue something or the state government can't pursue something otherwise, but that is not what they did. They didn't charge them with anything. Now, federal prosecutors are linking Lil Durk to a second murder ahead of his Thursday detention hearing in Los Angeles that is tied to separate charges, which I mentioned to you. A newly unsealed warrant and application was obtained by the Chicago Tribune, who were the first people to cover the story Thursday, and reportedly stated that the artist, born as Dirk Banks, was behind the January 27th, 2022 shooting death of Stefan Mack on Chicago's far south side. According to the FBI, Mack was the leader of the Smashville faction of the Gangster Disciples, according to the Chicago Tribune. Now, that's what they have linked him to in documents that was unsealed in Chicago today. But he's not charged with any of those crimes, not even being charged with ordering those crimes, although they are alleging these things. Now, Lord Durk alleged connection to the Mack killing broke just 2 hours before Dirk Banks was due to appear in court in downtown Los Angeles for the fight to release him from to get a bond hearing on what he had going on with the murder for hire case. Now, I will stop and add a little teeny bit to this because now you see it's about to start getting ugly. It's about to start getting crunchy. The federal government play way different than the states. So a lot of people have been through state situations and they think they know what's coming just because they've been involved in crimes that, let's going to say, involve violence, right? It's a different ball game. The feds don't just come for you for just one violent act. They come for you for violent acts and other acts that supersede those acts. So in the courtroom, just a little bit before he was to have his bond heard for the murder for hire, they revealed this information, and I think that's not a coincidence. Lil Durk has been in custody since his October arrest and is awaiting trial on the charges. He orchestrated a scheme that led to the shooting death of Georgia rapper Quando Rondo's cousin at a Los Angeles gas station. We all know this. Banks, 32, pleaded not guilty in Los Angeles to the case last month. In that case, prosecutors in the Central District of California say that Banks used his hip hop collective Only the Family, or OTF, to engage in violence. They claim he sought revenge on Quando Rondo because he believed the fellow rapper was somehow involved in the shooting death of up-and-coming artist King Von outside an Atlanta nightclub November 6th of 2020. After the murder, defendant Banks made clear in a coded language that he would pay a bounty or a monetary reward and or make payment to anyone who took part in killing Quando Rondo for his role in King Von's murder. We all know this part. This is in the hip hop community, the black community. This is as prevalent as what the number was for the lottery last night. The superseding indictment now pending against Banks states all of the above facts. Attempts to reach Banks' legal team were not immediately successful on Thursday. In a filing ahead of his detention hearing, the lawyers called Banks a devoted husband, father, and a son, a renowned artist who deserved release on a bond secured by $1 million cash and his $2.3 million equity in 2 homes in Georgia. They said that he would submit to electronic monitoring 24 hours on surveillance. That's the GPS monitor, the same thing P. Diddy was asking for in this case. Prosecutors said they opposed Lil Durk's release. Prosecutors said they opposed Banks' release. In prior filings, Dave alleged Banks learned that Bowman was staying in a Los Angeles hotel in August 2022 and caused his co-defendants to travel from Chicago to Los Angeles to find him. Prosecutors allege Banks' co-defendant used two vehicles and worked in tandem to track down, stalk, and attempt to murder Bowman for hours, culminating in the gas station shooting. The gunman fired at least 18 rounds at Bowman's vehicle, striking and killing Bowman's cousin. Prosecutors claim they have banking and flight records that link Banks and his associates to travel plans. They say that around the time the one-way flights were purchased, Banks allegedly told associates, "Don't book no flights under my name." The same day several of the men traveled to California, Banks flew in on a private jet with another alleged co-conspirator, Kevon London Grant. That's the one y'all really need to watch. The one that said that he allegedly was on the private jet with Banks, 28, the indictment claims. Grant allegedly purchased ski masks for the shooters and used a credit card in Banks' name to pay for the other men's hotel room, prosecutors allege. When Banks' co-defendants were arrested in Chicago the morning of October 24th, Banks purportedly planned to leave the country, an FBI agent alleged in an affidavit obtained by Rolling Stone. So I just wanted to touch on some of those things that's already going on with Lil Durk, because like I said, a lot of people just saying, I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to wait for his discovery to come out. I might do a special or a little something to show you how it was in MDC, Los Angeles. But for the Durk fans and the people that's watching this that don't really follow the case and don't follow the case law, Lil Durk is not charged with another murder. They're not even saying they're going to charge him with this other murder. The media, the newspaper, the bloggers, a lot of people, they're just saying linked to murder, linked to murder. He is linked to the murder because they mentioned his name and mentioned him being the person that wanted this murder to occur in retaliation for his brother. I believe his brother's name is D-Thing. So this alleged gang leader that was shot to death on the south side of Chicago, and this information I just read, you said 2022. I read something else that said that they knew of it as of 2023, but they didn't reveal this until just a second ago. So like I said, he linked to the murder just because they said that he had something to do with the money, but that does not mean he is charged with the murder. That is not one of his worries right now. His biggest worry right now is what's going on in Los Angeles. I'm going to keep you up to date with that. If you really truly a Lil Durk fan, you can follow all the Lil Durk news if you go and type in Lil Durk name in Pacer. If you don't have Pacer, you can do it in the regular system and it'll give you some of the information. Lil Durk is no longer in Florida. He's in LA right now, and they're trying to get him a bond. I keep up with the case for you on that as I start to see some more developments in it. I'm really interested in, who wore the wire. I'm really interested in who really did the telling, to paint the picture, to put the things together. Also, pay close attention to what his lawyers doing with rap lyrics. They already started to use the rap lyrics. I believe the rap lyrics is going to come back and bite them in the butt. Reason being is that prosecutors and their investigative team and police, even though they have hip-hop police and hip-hop people to help them, sometimes lyrics can be confusing. You got to really know what the lyrics are to decipher the lyrics. They're already making mistakes accusing him of talking about the murder for hire plot and rhymes that were written before the murder occurred. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment, share. Free the real. Appreciate the love, y'all.
A now unsealed criminal complaint in California described the OTF group as a hybrid organization that blurred the lines between a music group and a gang and alleges Banks ordered and paid for the murder of Rondo. According to the indictment, the hitman with OTF stalked Rondo and started shooting at him at an LA gas station. He survived, but his cousin died. The FBI officer's affidavit says law enforcement executed multiple search warrants at locations associated with OTF members around the Chicago area Thursday, and that's when the FBI learned Banks was booked on several international flights. One was a one-way from Miami to Dubai, the other from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland. He didn't board either and was arrested an hour before getting on a private plane to Italy.